So many of us these days seem to be so goal-oriented. So we hear phrases like, leave your mark on the universe. It seems that so many of us are focused on getting goals accomplished. Erich Fromm, for instance, wrote a book, To Have or to Be. And I think of being in terms of experiencing pleasure and minimizing pain as opposed to getting things. Hence the phrase, on the other hand, he who dies with the most toys wins. There's other phrases too, like leave your mark on the universe, or leave the world a better place, or leave a legacy. These are all, in my mind, goals. Even the notion, have a purpose or find your purpose. But whatever happened to simply enjoyment and then disappearing off the face of the earth and nobody ever hearing from you again, and that's just peachy keen? For did any animal other than human beings ever concern themselves with leaving a legacy or making the world a better place or leaving it better than when you came? It seems to me any animal except mankind is oriented only toward pleasure and minimization of pain except mankind. Mankind, on the other hand, seems all too often to want to accomplish something, to do something, to get somewhere, to amass something, and then to leave a legacy. And even to accomplish something great. Sing your song, even, is a phrase often used. But does a bird sing a song to leave a better world, or does it sing a song because it just simply enjoys singing a song? Maybe it's just part of a mating ritual for more pleasure. It seemed to me we would be much better off if we thought, at least, about something in the movie The Songcatcher. I believe there was a man who went by the name of Reese in there. And he said all too often those outside of Appalachia were focused too much on getting. So I know in my own life, I've often felt quite frustrated if a big life goal of mine didn't look like it's ever going to be accomplished. That includes, say, having a whole bunch of ideas by the gazillions and then being quite concerned that maybe I would pass on to greener pastures before I ever got them in print or video form, what have you. The thought being then that I hadn't done anything to leave the world a better place. Whatever happened to simply enjoyment of life or improvement of yourself and your relationships, and that being just fine in and of itself? I know I also came up with the idea and made a photograph, put wording on it, close but no cigar. It had a golf course, and on it was a green with a golf ball about a quarter-inch before falling into the cup where the flag was. And I wrote on it, close but no cigar. Why would it bother us at the end of our life then to be so fretful and say that we didn't accomplish what we really had set out to and forget all the enjoyments of life? Seems to me that is something to consider. Hence again, for what it's worth, Fromm's book, To Have or to Be. And to have in this sense, to get somewhere, to accomplish something, to leave even a legacy, or leave the world a better place. Seems to me in a sense, this can be described even as a Messiah complex. But of course that can mean many things. I prefer not to have labels, but simply describe things. But in essence then, this is something I've been working on a lot lately, this concern that your life's mission could be held up or your potential not realized, when in fact maybe even the word potential is something to consider. For instance, if we wanted to bake a loaf of artisan bread in France and then be world recognized for it and charge a lot of money per loaf, wouldn't it be ironic then if we gathered across the world all the greatest ingredients, finest ingredients from all over, but died before getting that one necessary ingredient that would have made it a success in our mind, the yeast, say. And so every time we baked it, it came out flat and unsellable and unappealing generally. Would we then on our deathbed say that our life was a complete flop and we're so miserable and we regret this and that, basically not having created that great loaf, including the necessary ingredients to a T, maybe all 30 or 40 of them, like some great French recipe, for instance? Whatever happened to the process of enjoyment of creating something along the way? Why do we only hold enjoyment when we attained end result and forget all the processes involved along the way? Seemed to me something to consider.